to a special edition of Smarknado. I'm your host, Eric Druckman. With me, as always, the Danaconda, Dirty Dan the Dad, says it. Dan, how you doing?
Big
Dad.
shout outs to Dan the Dad, the infamous independent wrestler. I'm doing well, man. Other than this perfect merchandise for a wrestling fan who's also a dad named Dan. Doing well, man. Just hanging out. Watched a fucking ass ton of wrestling.
Brother, I'm glad that you're doing well because I know that Dan the Dad isn't really doing that well after what that piece of garbage Mance Warner did to him on Friday night. So our thoughts are with Dan the Dad, and I would like to think that Dan is wearing that shirt as a tribute to you, sir.
Yes. Thoughts to him. Manser, heel Manser, brother. That is some big time shit.
Dude, the Effie and Mance right now at a fever pitch, their fucking feud, and it's definitely going to culminate WrestleMania weekend, dude. We're going to see something big. I don't know if it's going to be a big gig brunch or like
I think they announced
the seminal show for GCW. Wait, it's been announced.
I think they announced it. I don't remember what show, but they definitely announced Mance versus Effie.
Okay,
I don't know if it's a GCW show or
here's what I think. I think that they're going to have their first match against each other proper in the feud, and it's going to be unresolved, and we're going to reach the height of the temperature of the feud right at WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it here. Yeah, no, I'm excited. It's a great feud. I don't know how it's going to end up, but it's going to be big time.
Yeah. So let's talk about the GCW show maybe later in the show.
For sure.
Because I think that the most prominent thing that's probably going to be remembered for years versus everything else that happened this weekend was the return of TNA. And we had TNA Hard to Kill. They're back, baby. And I think that they put on a pretty solid show. Maybe some questionable booking decisions, but let's get into the things that we really liked first, though. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give a hot dog to Josh Alexander and Alexander Hammerstone. I think that they had an excellent one-on-one match. It felt like a main event level match.
Really?
Hammerstone just pulled out all the stops. I think him, like someone else we're going to be talking about later in the show, Jacob Fatu, really sold himself in this match to anyone that might want to, sign him. He did some very great stuff. Josh Alexander, of course, got the win though. But I thought it was killer. And if this was a tryout for Hammerstone, he absolutely passed.
Man, maybe we watch different matches. I'm not a Hammerstone guy. Never have been. I don't know that I ever will be. I just don't find his style fun, man. Like, it's boring to me. And that's no disrespect.
You know what it is? Is like I think he is entertaining. I think he's extremely athletic. But the fact is, when he was in MLW, he was just doing the same shtick for so long that it was refreshing seeing him in a different environment in TNA, being able to showcase his skills with a different set of talent, so
kudos to Josh Alexander for carrying him through that match if you were that impressed by it. But like I said, it's just, he's not for me, man. I don't know what it's never been.
I think I'm going to give him his due. I don't think it was all Josh Alexander in that match, as great as Josh Alexander was, but
I'll reserve judgment. I'll see where he comes now that he's out of the whole MLW scene.
Sure. Well, let's see if Hammerstone turns it around on Dan.
Maybe.
X Division Championship triple threat match: Sabin, Vikingo, and Kushida. I thought it was just fucking excellent. I think that the thing I was most impressed about from this match is, like, I've known it for a while, but I think that even after 20 years, Chris Sabin can just go with the best and the youngest and just the most, like, he is just so ageless in that ring. And he does everything with such precision and perfection. I'm blown away by him more and more, and I've embraced more and more this X Division run that he's on, because yes, he's held every version of the X Division championship, and rightfully so. But this has also been, I don't know, it's been surprisingly refreshing seeing
Sure.
him at the top here.
I will say that this I've always had the same opinion of Chris Sabin, right? His in-ring character or his in-ring work has just exceeded all expectations at every turn wherever he's been. He's just always looked like a substitute teacher to me.
I
Um
just don't think he hasn't always looked that way.
and-
I mean, he right now he's got the Beetle haircut and whatever. But when he like first broke out for a while, like he had the long hair, the goatee. He's gone through transformations year after year, so I can see from your vantage point how you would think that way.
I
You know,
love him in the
with
ring.
how you've
I
been
do.
used to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what I've seen of him, just his sheer what he looks like, and this isn't a body shaming by any stretch of the imagination. We know that that's been fucking prevalent, lately in the wrestling community. But I digress. Like it's just I couldn't take him seriously with that haircut, man. Like it's and my haircut is fucking stupid too. I get it. Like sometimes you just have a dumbass haircut. It is what it is. But
Mhm.
has his X Division run been incredible? Yes. Was this match bonkers? Um, I don't know if this was what happened literally right after this match or at some point in the night at TNA, but they announced a partnership with AAA, which is
Yeah,
interesting.
it's
So
good.
I'm intrigued to see where that ends up.
Hey, I want to see more of their talents on TNA television. I mean, I know that before they worked with like Penta and Ray Phoenix like 5 or 6 years ago after like Lucha Underground ended. So I want to see more of that. I do also want to mention from this match, this was some of the best pacing I ever saw from Vic Kingo.
Yeah,
In
you've been pretty
terms of like
critical of him
I've been
as of
pretty
recent.
critical of him, but like I felt like everything just kind of ran really smooth in this match.
Do you
There
think that was a
wasn't like
product of Saban?
I think it may have been Saban and Kushida that contributed to that. You have two very seasoned vets that are in there,
That
and
were
there
just like
was
pump the fucking brakes, bro. Like
yeah, and there wasn't a lot of time for him just kind of like making that hesitation of when he's going to hit the triple moonsault or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was very well paced, and that match absolutely gets a hot dog from me.
Yeah, for sure. Hot dog match
Yeah,
all the way.
yeah, absolutely. And then my other hot dog match was the women's championship, Trinity versus Jordan Grace. I
Yeah.
thought that they worked their absolute asses off. Trinity looked fantastic in this match. This begs the question: where does Trinity go from here? We
I
got the
think
Royal
she's
Rumble coming up. Do you think that she's entering into the Royal Rumble?
I do.
Yeah.
And with good reason. I just hope beyond all hope that she is entering the Royal Rumble and is taken seriously like the champion that she was on this last TNA/Impact run. Because truthfully, if they don't, that's just a shame for them. Because
I agree, man.
this isn't a lightning in the bottle thing. She has always been over.
Yeah,
Always. So
100%. And yeah, I think that this was the perfect opportunity for her to go to Impact and just show everyone that she can show out. She can just crush it. She can cook like anybody
I I,
else.
I hope she
Just the
stays in
same
it.
way that everyone else did that
I hope she
left.
stays in TNA. I do. Just because she will have that you know she'll be the big fish there. I think that her likelihood to get lost in the shuffle at WWE is too great. Even though the allure to come back to that major Royal Rumble pop is there, I just don't see that she's gonna be where
I
she
am
wants
going
to
to
be or should be.
respectfully disagree with that assessment just
Okay.
because the timing of how everything has happened right now, especially with Charlotte being on the shelf, you want to
Mm,
establish an upper echelon women's player. Now is the
especially,
time. Now is the time to
especially,
just strike with the while the iron's hot.
and especially with the rumor being that while not confirmed, Mercedes is more likely to go to AEW than anywhere else. So,
Mhm.
if WWE truly doesn't think that they're going to get her back, then Trinity is that replacement, and a very deserving one for that matter. So, I see where
Absolutely.
your point is.
Um, Going back to the match, though, I think that Jordan Grace, once again, being the Knockouts champion, that's just a great show. Like, if you're going to put somebody on top with this rebranding, like,
Yeah,
you chose the right wrestler.
not
She's
for the
unbelievable.
men's division though. I think that the Moose move was a head scratcher to me, man. I
A
don't get it.
hundred percent, 100%. And before we get to that, it warmed my heart to see that picture of Mercedes and Bailey there at Hard to
Yes,
Kill supporting Trinity, but getting a
for sure.
picture with Jordan Grace.
Yeah,
Women supporting women, great
yeah,
stuff.
big time.
Um, love seeing that. You see that, and it's just like, why is there so much tribalism? Obviously, the talents all respect each other. So why can't we just respect each other? Just a thought. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I think we'll get into that later, but yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But yes, the main event was a head scratcher. It wasn't necessarily a bad match. You don't really get a lot of bad Alex Shelley matches.
And
Um,
I like Moose for what he is too. Like, I don't think he's a bad wrestler, and I thought he fit that heavyweight championship mold rather than the world championship mold really well. So I
he
don't know.
hasn't been presented lately in a way to where I would think he was a shoe-in to become the world champion.
I understand he has a presence about him. You know
Mhm.
what I mean, for sure. And I think that putting him in a stable is good.
D'Angelo Williams, where did that come from?
Random, right? But I like the idea of a stable.
Yeah.
I mean, Eddie Edwards is still a good name, especially when it comes to Impact and TNA and whatnot. So
Mhm.
it makes some sense. It might cover up some random ass deficiencies that you might think he has. But I think it's an okay move, if you want somebody that has a big sort of presence as at the top of your card.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have
Uh,
just went with Dolph, to be honest with you, because fuck it. But
yeah, Dolph is now the next guy. He jumped ship to TNA, and it's funny with Dolph jumping to TNA. It's a bit of a throwback to me to old TNA, where long tenured WWE wrestlers would jump to TNA.
yeah,
So it's kind of funny seeing him there, but he's also in New Japan too. So Dolph is just kind of calling the shots as to where
yeah,
he's going to be getting his opportunities, and that to nobody's surprise, really.
yeah. I think we discussed him and Ali having sort of these massive indie runs that they're going to go on in the year 2024 is going to be
Mhm.
incredibly fun to watch.
Yeah, and that's to say too that in an upcoming GCW show, we're going to get Cardona versus Nick Nemeth.
Yeah, in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
next month I think it is in February.
Hmm.
I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, I'm very hyped for that. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of match that they might ultimately wrestle in a GCW ring, having been decade plus guys in WWE, sort of re-earning their stripes on the independent scene is just going to be a wild thing to behold.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, let's let, fuck. You know, man, Ali just had such a great showing at GCW this past week, didn't he?
He, between the promo and everything that he's doing, this is just gonna be incredible. Him and Gringo having WWE chemistry, right? Like, even
Mhm.
before Ali, and Ali saying that without Gringo there wouldn't be him, right? So two Chicago guys, sort of building each other up there in Chicago in a ring that in a situation that you never thought you would see necessarily, right? So, um,
For sure,
I don't know,
for sure.
man. The GCW roster is getting I'm not saying bloated in a bad way, but definitely taken on a lot of the old school WWE
Well,
character.
it's cool in that like it's kind of like the old ECW in that like it was a pit stop for a lot of guys before, so they could kind of work out their artistic talent before they settled on like a big promotion, and you have your core talent that's always on GCW cards that are going to be there, that are going to be able to benefit from, these legends that are coming into the show.
Yeah. Oh, look at here. Look at here. We have some guests that have
What?
we have got some guests that have arrived here. It looks like we have the Creeps. They have decided to sort of
Creeps.
make their presence known. So we should probably check it and see what they want to say here. Um, oh,
Hey.
oh,
Hey.
We
Yeah.
did it. We're
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Irving West,
Technology, baby.
Katie Ripley.
oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
the they Hulk and Irving, what is going on here, guys? What you're joining us semi unexpectedly. We were told we could expect you at some point before your match. So what's going on, guys?
Well, we heard that you guys are involved with Wrestlers Lab.
We
That's
are.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of
So
the
that's why we're
sponsors of the
here.
show, Bunga.
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. We're really excited about that. Yeah.
We're really excited to win the collaborative championship.
Oh yeah, we're gonna win it for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Man, you're
Mhm.
facing some really tough competitors. The outfielders, you got
Mhm.
Weber Hatfield, you got Shane McCoy. They've been tag champs. They've been campeones de parejas over different promotions.
That's true.
They come from a family of very good professional wrestlers.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
how are you guys going to be preparing for them?
We've been watching them for a very
Yeah, a really long
already.
time. Yeah.
And we may not be sport guys,
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean that we can't learn a sport, maybe, or
Yeah.
we're just gonna win. We'll just leave it
The,
at that.
the strategy is to win.
Yeah.
You guys are the designated hitters. They're the outfielders.
Yes.
Right?
I played baseball before once.
One time. I played T-ball. I was probably 6. I wasn't very good at it, even though it was very easy to hit the ball. So what exactly beyond win? You gonna get violent with these outfielders? You gonna teach them a lesson? What's going on here that we should expect in this match?
Well, they posted a video of Shay slowly falling onto another wrestler, and I personally did not appreciate that. And I told them explicitly not to do that to me or to Rip. And then they said they're going to do it multiple times.
What?
So the first thing I'm going to do is avoid the very slow moving over the top rope maneuver. That's what I'm going to do first of all.
Okay. And so I'm sure you have some counters planned for that. We won't divulge any secrets.
No. The first part is that I will not be where Shay lands.
Right. And then they revealed one of their weaknesses on Twitter the other day.
That's right.
Apparently, if you use a lot of baby oil, it makes the rope slippery, and then they can't do their high maneuvers.
Exactly.
Ha!
And it's already like really difficult to put holds on me because I've got a really shiny, smooth head.
Hey,
just slip right off.
Yep.
And if I get oiled up, ain't no telling where I'll go.
So I assume you made a Costco run for baby oil.
Yes.
Just gonna do a dive in there, right in. Okay.
Slip right through their hands like a bar of soap. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yep. And we don't do top rope stuff.
No.
So we'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not going up there. I don't want to.
You're good. So how are you planning on representing these championships once you do win them?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'll probably keep it in the oven.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta keep it
in the oven.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you do? I've seen them in refrigerators before.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm not into that.
Oh, okay.
That's cold. When I put it on after that, it'll feel bad. It'll feel bad. I don't like it. No, probably I'll customize it real cool. I'll customize the belt real cool.
All right, all right. I'm
Okay.
intrigued to see
Ooh.
that. We here at Smarknado are big fans of a custom belt. So we're looking
Yeah, we
forward
should
to that.
get a hemp one, like
Oh.
yeah, like what
Yeah.
Daniel
Like-
Bryan was.
Like the Daniel Bryan, yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yes, we
that-
are also vegan. We are
Yeah.
actually vegan.
Yeah, unlike Daniel Bryan.
Oh, call him out. Call
Daniel
him out.
Bryan, his body wasn't reacting well to soy, so he had
No,
to make.
Yeah, no,
he had to
honestly,
make a
that's
change.
fair.
I
yeah.
applauded him for his decision to not destroy himself for soy.
It's
It
important.
ain't worth
It's
it,
important.
baby.
No.
Yeah, but
so-
no, that belt was awesome.
Yeah.
Vegans, huh? That's interesting. So I want to tell you that quickly. My first ever job was in a vegan restaurant. So
Really?
Oh,
yeah, and I worked in restaurants for 25 years after that. So I can blame vegans for pretty much everything that's ever happened to me.
I probably
but-
can too.
yeah. I mean, we're fine at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Other vegans maybe not as much.
No,
they kind of make me want to jump in front of a bus.
Yeah, I don't.
sometimes.
There's a lot of vegans that
Absolutely.
I don't like that much. I don't find them pleasant at all.
Especially that Zack Sabre Jr., right?
He from our limited interactions,
Yeah,
he seemed really nice.
seems all
You
right.
guys
There's
actually
one
got
I'm
to
not
meet him,
gonna-
huh? That's awesome.
Yeah, we met him. I can't remember how long ago that was, but yeah, he was super cool. Try to talk
When
to him
was
about
it?
like working class wrestling.
Yeah, I talked to him about what a working class wrestling style would look like.
Okay, so can
Fun.
you go in
Yeah,
depth?
elaborate.
Well, not in depth. I would love to hear what a working class wrestling style entails.
Well, or I guess I was asking him if he would define his wrestling style as working class, but instead it's more influenced by the music he listens to.
Wow.
We yeah, it
Yeah, no, it was
blew
super
my
interesting.
mind.
Yeah,
Like the intricacies of it and stuff. Like it's technical, but
I would say
elaborate at the same time. You know.
Yeah.
So how would you define your wrestling styles in that regard? Would you?
oh boy,
Trash goblin style.
yeah.
Yes. There's a place for all of that. There's a place for all of that, right? Like
the way that I always think about most of the stuff I do, at least, is like it's not quite a 50-50 on whether it's going to work. I want it to be like at least 51 in my favor, but honestly, I'm not always going to get there. So, I'll just try real hard and maybe I'll get hurt, but maybe you will
Hopefully
too.
not. Yeah,
Yeah.
but maybe they'll get hurt worse.
At the very least, if there's like a trade, then I'm cool.
okay, yeah, no,
yeah.
you want to just win enough of the pain battle to say you succeeded. I appreciate that style. That's just reckless enough to get you some wins, and I think if you go in with that mentality, come show a bunga, you might just end up walking out champs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this is their
maybe.
first defense.
It is their
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
So, they don't have a long track record and they're not going to have a long track
No.
record.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that mentality. Go get them for sure.
Mhm.
And we'll probably reach out to the outfielders for comment. We'll see if they have
No.
anything to say
What?
back.
No,
No.
why?
No, they're gonna.
Don't
they're,
tell
they're,
them
they're
what
gonna.
we said.
Yeah, don't let them. They can't. Can they watch?
I can't
this?
do a rebuttal.
I don't know.
I don't think. I don't think that they have the internet.
Okay.
That's
All
fair.
right.
That's
We'll
a fair
take your
point.
word for it.
We're I guess we're. That was an accident. We're still
I was
going.
gonna say they already took it out. Jeez.
I did a little click of the finger there. Sorry, we're still streaming here,
They
people.
cut the feed. There's outfielders.
I know. They know way more about the internet than we do, I guess.
Yeah, I don't like this
than
at
we
all.
even thought. But we are gonna ask you here what if anything, what are your last words for the outfielders? We're going to show them, but we
Okay.
want to know what you got to say to them directly.
You go first.
Listen, we know your lineage.
Mhm.
We've watched your trainers. We've watched you for years. This has been our dream match since we started.
Yeah.
But you're still not prepared for the kind of chaos that we're bringing.
No. And the thing I want to tell them that I think is really important is I love you.
Also that. Yes.
I want them to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That's important.
Yes.
Is that a little I'm sorry, I love you?
Yes.
thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Our matches have often been compared to that,
Michael Ric Flair.
Yeah.
that iconic moment. Yeah. It's the same. It's
100%.
got a lot of the same pathos, you know?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I would say that
Yeah, the skill for sure.
from diving into your catalog, having talked to you prior to this, yes, I would definitely say that is your lineage, Michaels and Flair, for sure. But
Yeah.
no, all kidding aside, guys, it was really great to have you bust in on us here. We enjoy the creeps here at Smarknado. We appreciate
Thank you.
being part of Show Bunga. Door is open for the creeps if you were ever looking to do so again. Eric, you got anything for them?
No, I mean, really enjoy both of your work. You guys are really entertaining, and we're really looking forward to Show Bunga and watching an entertaining match between you and Shane Weber. Yeah.
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 And Eric's gonna be there. I'm not, because I live all the way in Charlotte, North Carolina. But Eric's gonna report back.
We'll just pick you up on the way.
Oh, okay. Where are
I'm
you
pretty
guys?
sure Charlotte's between.
I think Charlotte is actually.
Honestly,
on the
it
way.
might legitimately be between where we are in the show.
It's part of the loop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably it is a big wrestling town, but yeah. So I'm very much looking forward to hearing the report back from Druck about the show, and good luck in the match. I know you won't need it from the sounds of it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And where can we find you guys online, by the way?
Oh, yes. So I am at Andy Ripley, ANDEY RIPLEY on all socials. Well,
Yes.
all of them that I'm on, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm Irving West PhD at all of the things that I'm on. So it's, you know.
So we got Twitter, Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, and I'm trying to learn TikTok.
Yeah, you're trying to learn TikTok.
I'm too old for TikTok. I'm trying. I can't. I
It's
get
loud.
Same.
I get
Yeah.
it.
It's
loud.
like
It's young.
super loud.
It's loud. It's young. And I will say, Andy, you have one of my favorite Twitter handles. That being They Hulk. I want to make sure that I told you that how much I appreciated that.
I got one for you, Dr. Irving West.
Oh.
Twitter handle if you're interested in it. It was influenced by the video you guys put out a couple days ago. I think you should call your Twitter name Snacks Harwood.
That's good.
I actually really like that.
Actually,
He was proud of that one. He got a pop
That
out
would
of
be
me.
cute.
I think you should use it. For sure, guys. Doors always open. Anytime you ever want to hang out, chat with us here on our live stream again, feel free to reach on out. But otherwise, kick some ass. Come show a bunga.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks again.
Thanks so much.
All right,
Thanks very
take
much,
care.
guys. Talk soon.
Creeps love you.
Creeps up.
Well, that was fun.
That was a spirited run-in.
Spirited run-in from the creeps, and we are blessed to have them do so. And I gotta say, I'm a creeps fan. Like having them on the show now. So we hope to see them do big things in the future. So I think we have other wrestling to chat about, right?
Hell yeah, man.
That was threw us for a loop a bit.
Yeah, that did throw us for a loop. But let's just get back to the wrestling from the weekend. New Japan Battle in the Valley. First thing that I want to mention, because it was basically the first match, there was an 6-man tag team match that happened. Really, the star of this match was Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu just went in there, and if I had to guess, this was him showing in like 30 to 45 seconds what every major company has been missing out on with him. I mean, the guy just like running 1,000,000 miles an hour, doing a suicide dive, runs and does a Fosbury flop. He does these, he does the crazy, pop-up Samoan drop. He does the handspring into the moonsault. The guy is just a physical fucking freak.
He's a physical freak, but the problem being that he's immediately equated with the bloodline, right, by anybody, because that's just fucking the way wrestling fans are trash. and he doesn't have the physique that those guys have. And that's where the disconnect is for WWE fans
His
when he should
physique
be.
is no different than Solo Sikoa. It's really not that much of a difference.
I'll tell you what, and I
Really.
love Jacob Fatu. I'm not shitting on him. He comes off, I don't want, sloppy's not the right word. He comes off bigger. I want to say unkempt compared to Solo. So maybe that's why, maybe that's where it comes from. And they both, they're different characters, so I get it. But I think
don't know,
that's
man.
where the disconnect comes from for WWE fans. Now,
If
AEW
anything,
fans or
you
indie
know,
fans are smart enough.
Sure. If anything, though, like, I think he's going to get an offer from New Japan Strong.
He should.
And because he just needs to be featured on a TV show more prominently. People need to be aware that this guy is like, he's the hidden gem to me.
Put him on TNA, man. He would be a great fit in TNA.
Yeah, and him in TNA, you know, you talk about him having association with the bloodline like it's a detriment. I think that they could use it as a positive. Is that like he is the black sheep of the Anawai family?
So to clarify, I'm not saying it's a
kind of presentation.
To clarify, I'm not saying it's a detriment. I'm saying that WWE fans wouldn't see him at on the same level as the Usos or Solo or Roman because of his appearance. That's all I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that grouping of fans feels like that's how they would look at him. They would look at him as schlubby when that's not the case at all. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I hear what you're saying, but I just don't see it when I see Jacob Fatu versus Solo. I think they look pretty similar. But maybe I'd have to look a little bit closer. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that he really shined in this match. I think that he is going to go somewhere. That's for sure. Of course, at the end of this match, too, Shota Umino gets attacked by a masked man who is revealed to be Jack Perry. And then once it is Jack Perry, he gets out an armband and it says scapegoat on it. Seemingly, there's got to be some sort of storyline here where he got like banished from AEW based on the incident that happened with Punk, and now he is in New Japan to like refine himself. Like, you know what? I don't hate it.
I like it. I do. I think it's a
good way for him to reinvent.
He's got the big beard. He's got the hair. You know, he's got the. I think it's good heel work. It's a character he can lean into because I think he was kind of, you know, out there with his heel character. There was no real depth to it, and I think that there is some when you add this character into it. So him sort of being, even though like AEW fans aren't looking at him as a villain, him having this weird sort of, you guys all see me as a villain when we're all like, nah, bro, like you're cool. But like he's still convinced himself that he's the villain. So it should be interesting to play the way it plays out.
I mean, I think that there's a valid argument to be said that he did antagonize CM Punk when it came to, you know, the real glass and then getting in Punk's face. Like he is there's definitely parts of Jack Perry that is a villain coming out of this whole thing, you know.
But let's be fair, we don't care that he was the impetus for CM Punk going.
Some people are. It's not just us.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm interested to see how it plays out. I thought the intriguing part was that he ripped up his AEW contract, which was weird, but we'll see. And I think that the words that he mouthed were, "You can post on Twitter, but you can't answer my phone calls," seemingly a reference to Tony Khan. So,
you know, I think that obviously Tony Khan gave the green light on this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it'll be just a really cool angle.
I think it's going to be very good. And I'm you know, for sure interested in where it goes.
And I will say that I didn't really watch the rest of this card. I kind of was able to watch what I could this weekend based on my schedule and the massive amount of wrestling and football that took place. So I do intend to watch the rest of this card sometime. Just wasn't in the cards this weekend.
I had Finley versus TJP on in the background. Didn't watch much of it. I did see Kingston versus Gabe Kidd. There's another one coming up.
How was it?
It was good. A double count out is never, an ideal way to end, but it is something that kept them both strong going into a rematch, which I believe will be at in Chicago. That show.
Let me just say this. Is Gabe Kidd a lot more interesting than Finley?
Yes. You don't even have to finish your sentence. Yes.
Yeah.
He's absolutely more intriguing than
he is
David
a
Finley.
Fucking maniac, bro. Yeah. Like he's just always on top of like going crazy and unhinged. And did you see what he said? He was on some interview with Muscle Man Malcolm, I think his name is, the wrestling interviewer kid. Ever seen him before?
Yeah.
And he goes, it's like, in my new year for 2024, I want to punch people in the face. I want to win championships, and I want to get me an African queen.
He's wild. He's
a fucking riot, man.
He's wild.
Oh man. I want to see more of him, and I hope he does get a push. And I hope that maybe him and Coughlin dropping the strong tag team championships, maybe that happened because Gabe Kidd they see bigger and better things for him.
There's a lot going on with the contracts of that entire War Dogs faction. And I don't know.
I heard all their contracts are running out.
Something to that effect. So like, I don't know what they're going to do. Like, it's almost like if they don't re-sign them, like that's almost Bullet Club as no longer.
I think they will re-sign them. I think that this is just something that happens. Like, obviously the contracts are up for everyone who was part of the same class from the New Japan Dojo. Yeah. So I think it's just one of those things.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, and hopefully they re-sign most of them, but there's definitely a handful of them there that are gonna, make waves wherever they end up going.
Absolutely. Oh man, let's talk about the GCW show of what we saw this weekend too. No Compadre from Chicago, from Thalia Hall, venue I haven't been to, but it looks very cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I always forget that you went to school in Chicago.
No, I didn't. I didn't go to school in Chicago. I lived there for about a year.
Lived there for about a year. I knew you lived there in some capacity, and I always forget. So that's cool. But continue. My apologies.
So I want to give a hot dog to the very first match that happened on this card: Violence is Forever versus Bang and Matthews. And the reason why I'm giving that is, we all know how great Violence is Forever is. But dude, if there's ever been a tag team, man, Bang and Matthews are going to be to 2024 what Miracle Generation was to 2023. Like I think that these guys, yes, because I think that they are so fucking good.
Haven't they been around for a while though?
I feel like they haven't really been in a featured spot. Often. I can just see Bang and Matthews winning some gold or getting signed by TNA or one of the, they would be awesome in TNA. You saw that 4-way tag team match that happened on TNA Hard to Kill. I could see Bang and Matthews in there with ABC, in there with the Rascals, Mike Bailey, any of them. These guys.
We overlooked that match, but that match definitely deserves a hot dog too, man. That match was fucked around.
It was good. It was good.
Not to backtrack, but continue.
For sure. But just so impressed by Bang and Matthews, dude. The artist formerly known as the Bang Bros, by the way.
Yes.
They have really, really stepped up their game.
Yeah, and I know I like them a lot. And they're not necessarily the same style wrestlers as Violence is Forever, and they still were able to put on a really a thumper of a match. So to me, the biggest takeaway from this whole show was obviously Ali's debut there in GCW. Not only was this a fantastic match with two guys that just have history being from that Chicago area, but Ali at the end just giving all so much credit to Gringo Loco, who, man, like, there's a reason why they call him the base god,
Base
right?
God, and he
Like,
helped prep him for the Cruiserweight Classic back in 2016.
yeah.
So. The reps that he was getting with him. This was another show, by the way, guys, that I didn't really watch the full show. So if there's anything that we didn't mention on here, it's most likely because we didn't watch it. I don't know about you, Dan, but did you see the 6-man lucha tag?
That was with Arez and Flamita. No, but it was Cole Radrick in there. And how did that fare?
Because one of them couldn't make it because of a flight.
Yeah.
But this dude, Oni El Bandito,
Okay.
look into him, bro. He's like 6'7" and can fucking move around like any of the other luchadors. Does this crazy twisting plancha to the outside. Absolutely fucking mind blowing. You can probably find gifs on him.
I'm sure I can.
Onil Bendito, Bendito.
I see it here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, and I don't mean to like throw you off track, but when you said 6'7" and athletic and blah blah blah.
Okay,
dude,
he's 6'3".
Regardless, 6'3" is still impressive to be doing that kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not like. But can we talk about Obafemi for a second? Have you watched any of NXT lately?
Well, I know what happened. I know that Obafemi cashed in. I don't really agree with that decision, with the fact that he is a babyface and he's cashing in on another babyface. I think he's an absolute fucking beast. I think that his athletic ability is crazy.
This dude is cash fucking money. Like, I don't know that there's been a
Has
guy.
He spoken yet?
Yeah, he's unpolished, but I think he's got it, man. Like,
yeah,
he's a big dude and he's terrifying. And if he's given the right presentation, and I don't know if ultimately that's him, speaking for himself or attaching a manager to him in some capacity. This dude is going to fuck around and be a monster for a long time if he does.
I think he should. Obafemi should take out Omos, and MVP should go with Obafemi, because the Omos experiment, I think it's over.
I mean,
it's almost over.
I hate you. But I would like to see that match. It would be interesting. You know who I honestly thought of first?
No.
Paul Heyman. Like, honestly. Like,
Obafemi.
Like, imagine what, like, the aura that Paul Heyman could give him.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, but that's wishful thinking. I don't think that would be.
He's the warrior that's going to come and take and kill the tribal chief, and he'll become the wise man for the warrior.
Whatever it is, man. But I like this dude, man. But continue.
Yeah. So back to GCW, back to the bingo halls. Yeah, I didn't really get to see much else, honestly, man.
I picked up the Dan the Dad got murdered by Mance Warner.
Yeah, Dan the Dad got murdered by Mance. I did
Dan
get
the Dad.
Oh, I will say, I really like the new established pairing of Shane Mercer as the heavy for Blake Christian.
That is dope. I didn't even see that. That's real.
Yeah, that happened like a few shows ago.
I have not been keeping up too hard on GCW. Mm-hmm. I'm watching matches here or there, but that is a fantastic pairing.
Yeah, you got your big ginger, you got your small ginger,
Nary a soul amongst them.
Nope. Not a soul. But yeah, man, GCW show, It was fun from what I saw, and maybe
Yeah,
we'll
same.
catch up on that. Maybe we'll catch up on everything else.
For sure.
But we did watch all of Collision, didn't we?
Yeah, I watched all of Collision because, well, I don't know. I just did. It was on. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, man. I liked Lee Moriarty answering the open challenge with Adam Copeland. I thought
I'm
that's
digging this open challenge thing, man.
yeah.
It feels like when Cody was doing them, but without the belt. It feels like he's trying to elevate people. I want him to start bringing in people that like Eddie's or Ricky's. I know there's not a lot of them left, but if he starts bringing in or having indie wrestlers answer open challenges, man, that would be incredible.
Hell yeah, man. It might happen. Obviously, I think he may have gotten some of the idea from Cody.
Yeah.
Cody's
Speaking
the
of
one that
which, have you
started it.
seen Warhorse's new gimmick?
Yes, digging it.
Interesting, right? Interesting stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely intrigued by it.
He's
Darker,
Jake Parnell now.
yeah.
No more Warhorse.
I'm digging it, man. Good for him. It was definitely a good refresh for a character that's been around for a really long time. So I'm interested to see where it goes.
You know, Warhorse is just a guy. Took me a little bit of time to catch on to him. You know, and once I did, you know, he's been a lot of fun, and I feel like he's somebody that just kind of, you know, read the room, knew it was time for a little bit of a change to his character, and I think he's revitalized in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Even though his character is not, his character is very much over everything. But I do want to mention on this show a couple matches that I was impressed by. I loved Adam Page versus JD Drake.
Fantastic match. JD Drake is just, he proves every week that it doesn't fucking matter what you look like. To be a good wrestler, all you have to do is get in there and fucking wrestle. That's it.
Anyone that body shames JD Drake, you can't snap off a Hurricane Rana like he can. You just
Anybody
can't.
that body shames a wrestler probably has a terrible body. I know that seems like a weird thing to say when we're saying we don't need to shame them, but like
100%. And you know what? That sentiment was echoed basically all day after Deonna Purrazzo put up, you know, a post basically just kind of addressing everyone who has body shamed her in her career. And I mean, damn, the photo that she put up is just like how could anyone body shame her?
Like how embarrassing is it just to body shame somebody on the internet, period? Like who has to go on the internet and say this person is fat, this person has weird eyes, this person is too skinny? Like, mind your fucking business. 100%. Like, who gives a shit?
You know what
Nobody wants to look at you either.
You know what I do give a shit about? The Venus de Milo, the double arm bar that Deonna pulled out on Red Velvet. This might end up being one of my favorite submissions. I thought it was so fucking dope.
Deonna Purrazzo is
a debut for Deonna.
Deonna might be a top 10 to 15 wrestler, regardless of gender, in the world right now. Purely on in-ring talent, she might be.
Mm-hmm.
You could make the argument for top 10, I would say.
And you know what, Deonna and a lot of these women, Megan Bain is one of them. Who else?
Can't wait for
everyone who is trained. Everyone who's trained by Damian Adams. All these women that were trained by Damian Adams, they would routinely like wrestle for 60 minutes. Mm-hmm. That's like why all of them are as good as they are. So,
and they're all fantastic, and again, I can't wait to see Megan Bain in AEW. I don't know when her this excursion is supposed to end or whatever, but it will be awesome when she shows up, because I think we've definitely said it on the show before, but it is definitely going to be her being sort of the I don't think you can ever really replace Jade, but sort of as a presence.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be
she's going to be the juggernaut of the women's division.
The juggernaut, right? Like,
sure.
I think that they kind of maybe wanted Taya to be that, but Taya sort of drifted over to the Ring of Honor side. So, and I think that they're sort of waiting for Megan to show up to fill that role, and I'm excited for it.
Absolutely. Also want to mention from this show too, Garcia and FTR versus House of Black. Thought that was really fun. You guys should go out of your way to watch that.
Hot dogger.
But the thing that got me on this is Daddy Magic getting beat up at the end. And I think that this is signifying a babyface turn for Daddy Magic. And I am so here for it.
Has Daddy Magic ever really been a heel, though? Like, yeah, he acted heelish, but like he's one of those guys that's so funny that is he really a heel?
Not really.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they're going to like put him in a presentation where you can really embrace him.
Yeah, he deserves it. He's got a good thing going, man. Him and Angelo Parker both have paid their dues and definitely deserve to have TV time. So I'm glad that they both have their things going on.
For sure, man. I also want to mention, and we'll wrap up. We were talking Collision. Did you have anything else you wanted to mention on Collision, Dan?
I don't. I think that the only other thing that really stuck out to me, Christian Cage again, obviously, shitting on Dustin Rhodes was good. Beyond that, yeah, it was a pretty uneventful night. I think that they didn't put their best foot forward just because they were up against the playoffs. So I think that they knew what they were up against and didn't really have to do much. I watched a little bit of I did watch the tag title match on Battle of the Belts. It's fairly evident that they're doing everything they can to keep Jericho away from live crowds, even though like this thing has sorted itself out in the public mindset, I think, in a lot of ways, even though none of us know what actually happened. Having the street fight happen on the literal street is kind of telling.
Right. I missed Battle of the Belts, but I didn't realize that it happened in that setting.
Yeah.
They did not want to happen what happened at the pay-per-view because that was glaring right there.
Also, I mean, it's dulled itself down since then, but yes, they did not want it.
For sure. Do want to mention to everybody, I attended a fantastic show this past weekend. Grind Love It Loud. And in fact, in a little over a half hour tonight at 8 p.m. on IWTV, you're going to be able to see it for yourself. Main event of this show is Mike Skyros defending the Grind Grand Championship against Rabid Ryan Mooney. We got the IWTV Tag Team Championships on the line. The Miracle Generation defending against the main event. Travis Huckabee versus Delmi Exo. Rip Bison versus the debuting Tyler Bateman.
I can't wait. I'm watching this show.
And then we got a Griffin McCoy Open Challenge. So a lot of really great stuff here, guys.
And don't spoil it for me, because I asked and I already don't remember, so don't re-spoil it. Is it a name that anybody from Smarknado Nation would remember or know, or is it an up and comer?
I think it's someone that people may know.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
For sure. And before we close out the show today, I know that we have a very positive outlook on professional wrestling here. Not everybody on wrestling Twitter does. In fact, a very large majority of people on wrestling Twitter do not have a positive outlook on wrestling, particularly someone named JD from NY, who is just a real piece of work. Let me just start off first by saying, if you're somebody that just lets wrestling get to you so much that you have veins popping out of your head, you need to fucking reevaluate your life.
Smoke some more weed, my man. Smoke some more weed.
Like to get that fucking worked up. And the thing that JD most recently was getting worked up about that, caught the ire of wrestling Twitter today is that he blamed cancel culture on Hulk Hogan being racist. Is
let me
crazy.
Okay, I have to state emphatically right here, right now, emphatically, fuck that racist Hulk Hogan. He is it's not because we deemed anybody fucking anything. That
He called
motherfucker
himself racist
is
on camera.
racist.
He
Like,
called himself racist on
fuck
camera.
that. Fuck
Yeah.
that dude. And I always, I know it's not necessarily a badge of courage to be blocked by somebody on Twitter just because technically it's just you being proud of being a fucking asshole. I'm proud that that motherfucker has blocked me on Twitter, not JD from New York. I couldn't give two shits about that guy. I've honestly cared more about dumps I've taken in the toilet. But Hulk Hogan has blocked me, and that is a proud fucking moment. Fuck that guy. Fuck JD from New York. Fuck. You know what? Wrestling Twitter is not real life. And I say that
It's
as somebody
not.
that spends a lot of time on it because I work a job where I have to scroll mindlessly because I can't get into doing anything outside of what I do for work. Right? So that's the case. So I'm on it. I see it. It's not real life. Like, touch grass, get some bitches. Like, all those sayings are real fucking things. Like, bitches being a gender neutral term, as my man Seahawk has always said. Like, like, it's not real life. Tribalism is not real life. Like, yes,
No.
we talk a lot of shit about WWE. We've criticized AEW. We talked about things we like. At the end of the day, these people that we talk about don't know who we are, probably aren't ever going to know who we are, and that's fine. Just enjoy the shit you want to enjoy and stop just using negativity for clicks and fucking monetizing it. It's not fucking necessary. Like, there's so many other ways to get attention, and we live in this wrestling Twitter world where all people want to do is monetize negativity, and fuck that.
Dude, this sport is so fun. And
so fun.
Us having the creeps on today, you can tell by their spirit that they recognize that wrestling is so fun. So why can't everyone just have not take it so personally when you see something that you don't like? Just turn it off, watch something else, watch something that you enjoy. You know, it's ridiculous. There needs to be more positivity in the world. There needs to be nicer people. We need to.
Sorry, I'm laughing at you because I just ranted like a fucking lunatic about being nicer, but I really hate Hulk Hogan, man. Like, I just
You
don't
sounded
like
a
him.
little like JD from NY the way you were ranting.
But it was the opposite, and I'm on the right side of history. But that is a topic that I am always going to get fired up about. I'm talking about the other little shit and the tribalism that people get so amped and pumped and just not deservedly so about. Sorry.
It's crazy. Talk about what you love, guys, not what you hate. Please.
Yes.
It'll be better for your mental health. It'll be better for the wrestling ecosystem.
Block the hating, man. Like, it just ain't worth it. Like, again, you're allowed to not like things. You just don't have to dwell on them, and you don't have to shit on people that do. That's it. 100%. That's all it comes down to. If you don't like it, move on and don't care what other people do like. That's it.
Hell yeah, my man.
That's the end of it.
All right, Dan. I think that just about does it for today's show.
Good. I'm out of breath.
As always, guys, follow us on Instagram at Smarknado, on Twitter at Smarknado1, and leave us a nice 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Go check out our link tree. We have all our stuff there, including our What a Maneuver store and our YouTube. Always watch us live here too. Dan, you have anything
That's
left
all
for
of our
us?
stuff. That's all of our stuff up there that I always try to point to every week. I appreciate it.
Yeah, check out the QR code, guys.
We got the QR code for our link tree. Man, I love all y'all. And just really just stay fresh, cheese bags.
Keep watching wrestling.